Okay, right, we should be live, fingers crossed. I'm now going to audio balance a bunch of stuff that I thought was working ahead of time, but, you know, that's how it goes. Hello, if you're on the stream replay and you can hear this. Welcome! I'm going to be doing something a bit different today. I know I proposed the original playthrough following Detective Pikachu would be Pokemon Scarlet, and indeed, I do still plan on doing that sometime very soon, but something else I'd been wanting to do for a little while now was play this game right here, and I thought it could be a fun stream. You know, start of 2025, getting off some of the bucket list games and all that, and while I'm very familiar with the original game, I've played very, very little of this game right here, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing for the DS. My experience with it basically boils down to... I'm going to skip that so we have background music. Yeah, my experience with it basically boils down to playing it for about 10 minutes on a flash cart once and messing about with it for the sake of getting a nice looking stream layout here, so I'm really not all that familiar with it at all whatsoever, so yeah, I thought I'd go for a first time playthrough. I thought it made for a fun stream idea since I'm not familiar with the ins and outs of how this version works at all, and that much was very clear when I was setting this up and making sure the video looked all good. Was, oh my god, I don't know how this works. Also, welcome Larry. I've got a new chat box, by the way, as you can see at the top there, and it doesn't actually show redeems, so, Amy is all the chat box says. I don't know if there's a way to show redeems, but regardless. Yeah, you have to get used to the way around the chat box displays, by the way. It scrolls down or something like that. I don't quite know how it works, but I thought I'd try this out just on the off chance it was way better than what I was using, because the software's much newer and much more flexible to what I want, so love this port. Like I just said, I know nothing about it, so that's kind of half the fun for me. I've also got retro achievements enabled. I couldn't really... Did I get them working? I think I did. I've now got to double check. You can see this is retro arch clearly, by the way. I've now got to double check that I actually set them up correctly. Did I put unlock sound on or not? I can't remember. Please go away, speaker. I don't want my speakers showing up right now. Let's see. Unlock sound is off. There we go. We'll turn that on. Always content complete, so I've seen it. It's really exciting. Am I sure I want to get rid of this license? Yeah. So, my experience with this is nothing. I have virtual achievements on, like I said. The aim, what would be really nice, is if I'd be able to get all of them by the end of this playthrough, you know, but I foresee that being a big thing. Retro achievements are, you know, basically legal CBT a lot of the time, so I don't kind of want to bother with it if it's going to be too much hassle, but I do at least want to do all the mission mode and unlock all the characters and a bunch of stuff like that, so that's what we're going to aim for, and if I happen to be able to finish the retro achievement set, then we'll go with it, I guess. Welcome K-Dog as well, by the way, and I think I already said, but welcome Larry. Hopefully the layout looks all nice, by the way. I'm using a whole host of weird hacky workarounds in OBS to make this look all good, so let me know if it all looks and sounds okay. Anyway, we've got a new license right here. We're going to set this up properly. I was struggling to play as Sonic earlier, by the way, so your Amy Redeem might throw me off a bit. I guess we'll have to see. I'm not very good with any of them. I do get to set my own icon, so I'll set Amigo. First game I knew of ahead of release. I saw a trailer online the following week, and the guy in Game Station had to tell me it wasn't out. I was like that much with the console version. Weirdly, this one never blipped on my radar. I nearly got it at one point. I was very close to getting it, but I already had the home console port on 2 platforms, so I was like, wasn't in too much of a rush to go out and get it. So as a result, it's always just slipped me by, despite the home console version being like a top 10 game of all time for me, so hey, 2025, go and fix the resolutions you've been making to yourself or whatever, right? Okay, so I can't do that just yet. Hey there! I'm just taking my new car out for a test drive. Hold the A button for gas and use the control pad to steer. I didn't grasp the idea that games were advertised before but release. That was me with Sonic Unleashed, actually. But yeah, they do that. And they used to have really cool trailers that went out online, and nowadays it's less so of a thing. I mean, kind of a thing. I can't drift yet. That's not allowed. I think I found out about this game through the Nintendo channel, if I recall correctly. You know, the Wii channel thing. I'm pretty sure, and there was a downloadable demo for it, possibly, as well. I know there was one for Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics, which I already had, but I don't know about this game. That feels pretty sweet. Let's try drifting. While drifting, steer and hold the A button to drift. Oop. Okay? See, drifting was where I got a little thrown off. So what? I just tap the D-pad, basically, is what I'm getting from this. Keep hold the A button to keep sliding. Okay. So yeah, what I'm getting is I have to tap the D-pad rather than hold it like you do in the console game to keep drifting. Cool, looks like it comes fitted with turbo boost. Drifting charges the turbo. Release the A button to use boost. Okay. Yeah, so you don't get a vibration because it's the DS, and you don't really get a noise indicator, and when it's charged you have to look at the flames. Cool, that's my kind of speed. Drifting charges turbo. Drift longer for more boost. Okay. Yeah, so drifting is definitely a different system. I can get why they chose it this way to adapt it to DS. It makes sense. Awesome, that's my kind of speed. Drifting charges turbo. Drift longer for more boost. Okay. So yeah, the Chivos is the specific reason I'm actually doing this on emulator rather than on 3DS like normal. So the footage might look weird in places, like the DS would arguably look a little crisper, but hey. Awesome, that's my kind of speed. Drifting, charges turbo, drift longer for more boost. Right, at what point am I allowed to... Oh no, you're perfectly good, Laurie. Like, I knew what I was getting myself into. Yeah, at what point am I allowed to leave this? Because I know the console version at some point goes, that's it. Remember, weapons and power-ups will help you win the race. Smash capsules to win weapons and power-ups. Okay. Hey, look at that. I want a dash power-up. To use it, to use an item, press the L button. Sure. Oh. I wanted to get back into retro achievements recently. Yeah, same here. I did Nights into Dreams very recently, and yeah, I'll get back into it at some point, a bit more proper. Try out more drifts and boosts. When you're ready, press start to leave. There we go. Right. Yeah, so drifting is a very different system. I've got to get used to the handling system full stop. That's going to be a bit of a tough challenge, but we'll get there. That's why I'm a little concerned about the retro achievements. I know I've got to get first place on hard on all the cups, which is, or on all tracks in all cups, which is just going to be a bit of a scary one, to be honest with you. So that's why we start with easy mode, because I need to get all the characters anyway. Right, main menu. Yes, there we go. Roll and start. So yeah, at some point I don't know. I'll get used to this. It just will take time. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of options here. I'm just going to check the options menu in case there's anything worth checking. Gotta get your SEGA miles. Oh, of course. Yeah, they have no relation to previous games Sumo made, I'm sure. So I'm guessing I can turn on... Yeah, you can turn on other consoles mode, but I'm fine with it as it is. So let me just see that one more time. Accelerate on A, so that's B, because I'm using an Xbox controller. I was actually using a classic controller while I was testing this, but I found that I was just way more used to the controls on an Xbox controller. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I can trick, because I've only been playing, well, Lagoon, so I guess I never really thought that I could trick. That's on the... Oh yeah, that's always on the drift button. Okay, accelerate rear view, sure. It's fine, don't need to set up my DS Wi-Fi, obviously, because it's a little dead. Don't get me wrong, Wi-Fi exists, but I doubt anyone's going to be online right now. First game inherits Outrun miles in second, inherits coast-to-coast mode. Yeah, I guess it does. I never really thought of World Tour as coast-to-coast mode, but it is, isn't it? Right, Grand Prix, we're going to start there. That's a nice way to get familiar with the tracks. So, I have an Amy redeem, so I'll do this for one cup, and then people can redeem for whatever they want. Otherwise, I'll pick whatever I want, I guess. And we're going to go easy. We're going to ease ourselves into it. That's the whole point of why it's called easy. Just in case anyone doubts me. Okay. See, weirdly, I found this was way too quiet earlier, but... Oh, sorry, way too loud earlier, but now I'm feeling it's a little too quiet on my end. I might just... Fortunately, RetroArch pauses every time you tab out, which as a streamer is my worst nightmare. I can't tell if that's too loud, but I have a volume slider on my headphones, so I'll just mess with it from there if it's too bad. Okay, does the course intro not skip on this version? Do I have to do that manually? Because like, there's a definitive ending on the console version to the course intro. Okay, didn't get that. Yeah, I just always forget, because I'm not using the Steam RetroArch. I normally use it through Steam personally, but Melon DS isn't available on Steam, and Melon DS is just like far and away the better way to emulate DS games. But otherwise, I'm normally like Team Steam with RetroArch. I don't mind the missing cores all that much. It's never really too much that I personally want to use, so it never fusses me to not have them. But Melon DS is like a must for DS games. Don't get me wrong, some of them are fine elsewhere, but definitely would prefer to have the option for it, sorry. But yeah, because of that, I'm missing a load of my normal config stuff. That's where I was going with that. So I've had to set up effectively, you know, a stream profile on this version of RetroArch, and then like what I normally personally play on is on there. So it's still taking a bit of getting used to. Like I had to turn on all my menu configs because I was like, why can't I easily get into the menu and change stuff? Oh yeah, because it's a new install. For some reason, start and select being the default menu button is just not a thing by default. I have to enable that, like, okay. Oh? We get the rock version of Alex Kidd as his theme in this version? I don't think that's his all-star on console, is it? The Takadude version, that's great. I think it's just a generic song on console. That's a nice little addition. Can you still hold to let go of all 3 items at once here? I should have tested it. Anyway, we're not doing too bad so far. Chaining drifts definitely feels a bit slippier to me, but once again, we'll get there with time. Yes, you can. That's great. Lovely. There we go. Super hang on. I did actually get some achievements earlier, and I did delete them just so we could go fresh again on the stream. On the practice file that I had, I got a couple. Okay, I played Icicle Valley and I didn't really understand it, so everything from here on out is going to be pretty fresh. So we're gonna be reacting in real time to all these tracks and everything. I gotta press A on 3 for Amy, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that also hangs on from the console version. Same thing as well. I've got to learn that I can drift more than once. I'm just so scared that I'm gonna crash out when I hold my drifts for longer in this version that I just never fully charge it. That's going to be a thing of the past. I've got to get used to that because, well, higher difficulties are going to be a pain in the arse without that, so... Oh! No, I messed up my one trick! I was thinking of getting Retro Pocket 5 for higher-end retro achievements, but it turns out Sony's patent on slide-out gamepads on phones ends this year. Oh, it does? Oh, shit, here we go. Here comes the good stuff. I am, I mean, Aluri knows this, but for anyone else, I am the world's biggest PSP Go defender, so the second a PSP Go handheld drops, I'm there in a flash. Like, there's no waiting on that at that point. Reckon ASOS might disrupt, ASUS might, ASOS, fuck's sake. ASUS might disrupt the market? How so? Do you think they're gonna try and get, like, some handheld stuff in, or do you think the ROG Ally is like going to be that much of a threat when it gets to a lower price point or whatever? ROG phones. Oh, that's a good point, actually. I hadn't really considered, you know, what that would do to like mobile markets and stuff. But yeah, like if there's a way easier way to do stuff like that on phones, or you got, well, as you say, you fold out phones as a result of the pattern changing, then like I'm here. Sorry, Sony. Despite my bitterness at Sony as a company sometimes for the PlayStation division, I'm a huge Sony technology fan. My phone is, unsurprisingly, but I'd be willing to stray to the dark side for that. Sony sat on the idea for too long. They made like 2 products with it, both wildly unsuccessful for different reasons that weren't the slide out, in my opinion. Oh, this version's really good of this track. I'm mostly unfamiliar with this OST as well, except for a very few tracks, so this is half going to be a blind reaction to a bunch of this as well. Yeah, this is a really solid port. I mean, I always knew that. I always knew from people's gushing and everything like that it was. But I'm surprised at how much is translating over so far. Basically, this, Can You Feel the Sunshine? That's the 2 I remember off the top of my head. Yeah, obviously I'm going to have to unlock a bunch of the music, so we're not going to hear a load of it off the bat, but My goal is definitely going to be characters straight away, but yeah, music would be a nice luxury to have. Wasn't for the Xperia player, we might not have Minecraft Bedrock. True, I didn't know that till recently. That's a really fun little fact, that's why that started life. I feel like at the time that went relatively under the radar. I was too busy hearing about how you got Crash Bandicoot for free instead of you get the first version of Minecraft on phones. Like it's a pretty big deal. I think that the Minecraft community has pushed up prices a little bit on the Xperia, because I've been actually looking into them. I've looked into them in the past, sorry, seeing how much they were and stuff. I think they're actually quite expensive for phones of that period. Like, obviously, retro tech in general is not as cheap as it used to be, but I think compared to like other 2009 phones, like it's pretty, what's the word? It's pretty expensive, comparatively anyway. I'm still getting used to that corner. So much so that BD Joe is absolutely taking advantage. He's been neck and neck with me so far. I was going to say wiping the floor, but I have held my own a little bit here and there. Okay, can still boost through those guys as well. Once again, good to know. Ah, there we go. Right, he's getting very close, but I made it. I didn't win a single race until about 5 minutes before the stream started, while messing with the video stuff, by the way, so you know. this is coming as a surprise to me. It's still pretty usable as a period appropriate phone for gaming, especially with custom ROMs. Yeah, that's true enough, actually. One thing I don't like about this chat box, by the way, is how it cuts off messages at the bottom. I really prefer if a message was going to cut off, it would just get rid of it, but it's what everyone recommends, so I'm giving it a go. And I've not done the start boost successfully once. And I've not done a drift there very well once. So even though I'm not too familiar with this version of the game, I gave my reasons. It was like a £30 game back when I didn't have money, etc. So I already had it on console, wasn't incentivized to get it on DS. Part of the other reason for that was because I actually had it on mobile. I was, at the time, on the iPod Touch. I just got one the year before, so perfect timing for when All Stars Racing came out, and I played a load of that on iPod Touch. Bring that up now, because a lot of this track design I do somewhat remember from that version. This stage is like immediately coming into my head as, oh yeah, like I remember this. I remember this super downgraded version. One of the ones I always played was Shibuya Downtown, so the second we get there, I'll recognize that. Like that'll be the Ratatouille meme for me. I really love that version. Before Game Center was a thing, you actually had to. Well, you didn't really have online in games at all, but you had OpenFaint, didn't you? I got OpenFaint just for this game, back before Game Center, and then I think at some point they patched it out a couple years after because Game Center was a thing, so I'm guessing Apple facilitated that all online stuff was through it after that point, but that was a weird time in iPod Touch gaming when it was just the Wild West for that sort of stuff. That's what I always associate this game with, is like all those services like that, like yeah, OpenFaint, having to add people through that just to be able to play some online races with them.
Sorry, I'm in a hurry.
Oh, did that work? I think just about. Oh no. You know, rather would do dining fine with DS multiplayer on this. See, another reason Mario Kart Kid had access to Mario Kart DS. This wasn't ever replacing that in my mind. Like, see, I don't think that translated for me. It was, yeah, I love Mario Kart Wii, but Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing's its own thing. It's like, I've already got Mario Kart on DS. It's like, well, you already have Mario Kart on Wii, and yet you really like this game. You were Shy Guy Gang? Don't worry, I was Shy Guy Gang too. Thankfully it's Green Shy Guy, who's one of my favourites, so I wasn't complaining too much. But yeah, absolutely a member of Shy Guy Gang as well, so. Also, welcome King, by the way. Crazy how the sequel for portable platforms improved everything too. I mean, Transform 3DS is a pretty infamously bad port. But, yeah, I can see that. There we go, we got 2 achievements. I don't remember playing Mario Kart DS loads. First time I played it was Game Share. See, I played loads of Mario Kart DS, so I can't. Cycle between this, MKDS, and the 2 Olympics games. Oh yeah, Mario and Sonic Olympics, the first one in particular, was like a mainstay in my cartridge slot personally. Not my cartridge slot, sorry, in our like multiplayer gaming rotation for the DS. Okay, that's a pretty respectable amount of points. Transform Vita is the go. It's great. You've completed a challenge. Now there are no limits. Win your first Grand Prix Cup. Welcome to the next level. Win every race within a Grand Prix Cup. Up and down. Take out a racer using an ultimate firing mode of an item. Super Hang On. Win after being in first place for the last 2 laps in any race. Okay, there we go. Transform Steam Deck is the goat. Ass cheating. Bring back memories of us playing this online on the 360. This game on console is so good. Like, Larry's got the memories of this one, obviously, but I have no memories of this, whereas I have. I love I love the original on console. Right, I can get Knuckles, I can get Big. I can get loads of things. I'm absolutely minted in this version. What on earth? I can save up and get Oh, I can only get Mobo? Oh, that's sad. I want Mobo and Robo. What do you mean there's only the one of them? Polygon limit my ass. Why is it in dollars? Wasn't the original Sega miles? But yeah, you're right, it is in dollars. It's really weird. I hadn't really paid much attention to that. I do hugely want to play as Opa Opa, so anyone got anyone who they want me to buy and play as? Either do it as a redeem or just stick it in chat. Otherwise, Big the Cat's worth 40k right here, yeah. I'm not even allowed to buy these guys right now. If I get big and this can be a fishing stream, I like the way you think. Lucky Dime, purchase anything from the shop. Alright, we'll do that and we'll get some music just to fill this out. Oh, Ultra Heaven, I mean, I love Ultra Heaven as a song. What do I want? I mean, where are we going back to relatively soon? That we've already been to, that is. I mean, Windy and Ripley, what a song. What do I want? Party time, Ultra. Yeah, we'll go Ultra Heaven. Fishing for dubs? That'll be me tomorrow. As will be everyone. I assume... I've already received multiple messages about it, so I assume I might get bullied into streaming Fortnite tomorrow. The chat auto-scroll is broken, by the way. We were just talking about this. It's not broken. It just works differently now. Your message is at the top of the chat. I keep looking over it and thinking, oh, that's not working properly. No, it is just... I'm using a different piece of software. It's one that people recommend. So I'm kind of seeing how I like it and if I'm not a fan of it, which I don't know how I'm feeling about it so far. But if I'm not feeling too good about it, I'll go back to the old one. Right, sorry, just taking a quick swig. Okay, we got Big. I don't know why I let Larry talk me into this one, because Big's just going to control awfully. I know where this is going already. Bring back the famous bottom scroll. See, I really wish this software had the option for this, but it just doesn't. And I think I'm going to put in a ticket about it, because there's loads of options for like how the text appears on screen, but none for like flipping which way around it scrolls. You barely even talked me into it. That is true. Holy shit, what do you mean Big the Cat? That's Small the Cat. Why is he so tiny? What happened? They put him in the wash? That's not Big the Cat. Yeah, this track's bringing back memories. With the weird, like, little bridge things you go under. Oh, and it's also really short. I didn't realise it was so short. Oh. It's kind of got like an industrial sound to it. This is pretty fun. Speaking of washing machines, the drum line sounds like the inside of a washing machine. But so Big doesn't honestly control that badly. I'm actually surprised by how well he's doing right now. Console accurate, my arse. Big doesn't even control like shit. What is this? So you have to do inputs every once in a while, or otherwise the game does penalise you and drop your drift. Which is a little annoying. Who's OP in this version then? I honestly don't know. I was going to ask Laurie that question at some point if I started struggling with races. It's ironic because Big was terrible in All-Stars, but it's quality in TSR. I mean, TSR's similar to All-Stars Racing Transformed, but way... it's like All-Stars Racing Transformed times 10, in that sense, in that heavyweights are good in... Heavyweights are good in All-Stars Racing Transformed, but not, like, dominant like they are in TSR, where they just absolutely mop the floor. Like, you can still get away with being a relatively lightweight character. Like, I think Aegis is the best character, I think, and rounds out, even despite not being the heaviest character. Rounds out to some of the others, like Rio and Metal Sonic as well, because you have planes and boats and stuff in that game, which also determine the speed, whereas you just don't have that, so kart stats are everything in TSR, and therefore heavyweights just absolutely, like, destroy. Surprised to find out that Alstead Brimble was involved in converting the OST. Name's not ringing a bell off the top of my head. Give me a VGMDB page, or rather, the summary of said page, because I click out of it and then all the noise goes. Is Big's voice different, or does he just always sound like that in this version? He's another... Okay, I can go that way, maybe? I don't really want to risk my race finding that out. And, still a better rendition of the music than I imagine we're going to get in House of the Dead 2 remake, but... Spring 2025, we'll be finding out soon, won't we? Did I actually have that game on Steam? Did I ever get round to rebuying it? Prolific British composer. I'm gonna have to look, because it's a name I feel like I should know, but it's just not ringing bells at all. Okay, this is different. I'm not against this. Because you're just incentivized to shortcut on console here. So, it's interesting. So can I go that way? No. Okay, that's interesting. Announcer or no announcer? I play no announcer on the original game, because you get a little sick of him once you heard him a million times, but no such thing on this version, so don't have to have the debates. Yeah, the whole if you don't press a button while drifting for long enough thing is throwing me off a little bit. I'm just wanting to power slide around the corners with the neutral, and it's like, nope. How dare you. You will slam into that wall, and you will enjoy it. I don't know what I did. Even sometimes while I tap the corner, it still just drops my drift. I don't quite understand it, honestly. I'm still getting used to, like, the intricacies of it. I was hoping I did that before the items, so I got one that better protected myself, but we're past that point of no return now, aren't we? Can I just have a drift? Am I simply allowed to drift, please? I'll read that in a second, King, sorry. I gotta lock in for a second and make sure I actually at least finish this racing first. That didn't work as expected. What do I think about the newest racing game announcement then? Granted, it's only a PNG. You know what? A smart person would have done this stream for that reason. I genuinely forgot that was a thing. Yeah, I can't say anything, because there's so little to go off in that trailer, but so much so that I just forgot that they announced that. But yeah, if it's more All-Stars Racing, I'm interested. It seems like Hardlight's developing rather than Sumo, so that honestly interests me a little less. Don't worry, there's always day 2. Prequel to TSR Crossworlds, question mark? Yeah, that's embarrassing that I actually forgot that existed. There's been way too many cool SEGA announcements, and upcoming games recently to where I just forgot that they teased the 4-second PNG. What song even is this? Oh, it's Final... Is it Final Fortress? I can't tell. Lucky Squire, Doom, GBA, Goat, Sim, Sega Arcade Gallery, bunch of Amiga stuff. Yeah, the Amiga stuff's probably what I'd know best, because I could not have told you Plucky Squire. That is a game I have yet to play. I did intend to do a Series 1 VGM Tour episode on it, and I just kind of never played it, so... Same reason it wasn't in the Games of 2024 thing, because I just haven't got to it yet. It's there in my Steam library at the top of it, in my now playing section, so I remember to play it, but there's just been other things I've been wanting to do a little more than it. Whilst the big reason I didn't get to it in the first month was I was waiting for patches, because it was supposedly really buggy in the first month, so I was just kind of waiting for it to get fixed a little bit, and I think it mostly did now, but then of course you lose the initial hype, and therefore people reminding... The hype sometimes reminds you, oh yeah, I did buy that game when you see it on Twitter or whatever, I should get to it, and you get guilted into actually playing it, whereas if no one's posting about it, then you just forget that you didn't play it, which is, that one's me. I'm in the picture. The fact that the Apple Arcade version keeps getting more stuff, it really does. And it still baffles me. Honestly. See, I'm doing way better on this race, which feels odd to me because I've dropped so many drifts. And yet, in stages where I've hit like perfect drifts sometimes, I just get really caught up to. Also, yeah, the AI are definitely more aggressive here than they are elsewhere. It's also weird to me that, like, I'm guessing they had enough room to sequence all of the All-Star themes, because they were all clearly sequenced, whereas these are, I'm guessing, are done in real time, the actual stage themes, based on the sample quality and stuff. That's a big post. I'll read that in a second when I got spare eyeballs. The problem with this is this is set up completely differently on my screen to how it actually is on the stream. So the DS screen's on the left-hand side of my screen. So therefore, it's all the way away from my chat box, so I can't really see it all that easily. I'm also in pixel perfect mode, and then just letting OBS handle the scaling, which is why the RetroArch menu looked funny earlier. But because of that, it means it's not all that easy to actually see the chat while I'm racing, so I do apologise about that. I mean, straights like this are the perfect time to check it, and yet I still just get anxious that I'm going to get hit by an item, so I stop looking. Okay, I should be safe to drop my things. That's famous last words, isn't it? I'm cautiously optimistic about Crossworlds. If they're willing to do one after TSR Bomb, and I hope they are making sure it's better. I mean, change in dev team to me feels like a direct response to that. Like, there's nothing wrong with Sumo's team as it was, but, well, from what we know of TSR was the A team was too busy working on something else, presumably Sackboy at that point in time. So the B team was in charge of TSR, supposedly. It's kind of why it ended up the way it is. So I'm guessing in order to not go with Sumo again, they went, well, we're going to learn from last time. We're going to wait for the A team. And the A team just kind of went, we're not available. Or whatever. Yeah, and Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel specifically went out of its way to shit on TSR. So it's kind of not surprising it died in the way it did. Because that must have been timed. Like, there was no way. I believe we don't know, but I think Sumo have said it's not them. And I believe from they left some info in the code of the website that Google cached. It seems based on that it might be Hardlight, which makes sense because Hardlight have been wanting to do more console stuff for a while. They got stuck on mobile, obviously, but like half the Apple Arcade stuff is clearly them wanting to do more console. So that would be the perfect opportunity if you already have Sonic racing experience and you have experience making Sonic games. Yeah, I have faith in Hardlight 2. Dream Team was really good and was effectively a console quality thing on mobile. Really glitchy in the later updates, to be completely honest with you, but I honestly think that's more like an Apple patching process thing and being stuck to mobile, so I have some faith that it'll be good, so yeah, I'm willing to believe in them for it. They've also done like porting stuff before. of all things, they're credited with the port of Sonic Forces to PC. Just the PC version, and never any other Sonic game. As in, you know, not like Frontiers or any of those ports. They were done in-house, but they did do Forces. So they do have some experience working on, like, Sonic stuff and making it work, so... They made Endless Runner with staying power fun as a priority in their games. Yeah, for sure. Like, as I say, I'm completely behind them for it. It's just going to be a bit of a weird and sudden change, honestly. Right, here we go, treetops. There's no way this is going to work as it is, so this is surely hugely stripped down. Oh, here we go. Party Game 1, what a song. Okay. I'm going to have to look at the map for this, aren't I? Such is the way of treetops. My tricks almost always seem to fail, I've noticed. That seems to be like a running theme. Although, this is so much easier to follow than normal treetops. Like, the... Minus that, that's a bit of a blind corner, but for the most part it makes sense. I say as I just don't align with the track properly for some reason. So I'm now going to have to spend the next couple laps catching up. Oh, this hits different on the DS. Yeah, is it even worth going for them half the time? Because they almost always just seem to fail. Not too familiar with the console version. See, this is where we need to play swaps here. I'll propose you a deal. Get it on Steam. Do the inverse of this stream. Play it on your own time and have fun with it. Yeah, this is like so much better designed than that. It's crazy. I'm just not bothering with the tricks though. Got it on Steam right next to Transformed. The difference is the Steam version is not worth playing unless you're really that like unwilling to buy Xbox Live if you have a 360 or whatever. The best way is PS3. If you've got access to a PS3, online's free. That's where the community's most active nowadays, I believe. That's where I've certainly found the most matches for the last couple of years. Please don't out of bounds. Okay. But yeah, Steam just got kneecapped straight off the bat by not having multiplayer, but if you're just doing the single player experience, then there's no reason to not mess with the Steam version, because yeah, like, see, I always thought the excuse of... Oh, that's me crashing into something. I'm trying to adjust my chair. The thing to me was I always thought the excuse of we put no online in there because of piracy was really dumb, until I played Outrun 2006 on PC, which has online, so it clearly is just because of that. Getting a PS3 thinking of getting a PS3 Slim when I sort out my stuff and have space. I'd recommend it. PS3's got a lot of good games that are still trapped on there, more so than the 360. Like, don't get me wrong, the 360's great as well, but like a lot of the exclusives there got moved up to Xbox One and PC and stuff, whereas PS3 still has a lot of cool stuff trapped on it. Oh yeah, the community would have still been so much more alive if that was a thing. Right. We did it. Oh, Super Slim. Yeah, I'm on Super Slim. They're great. Am I gonna get my one for winning the Grand Prix? Do I not get one for winning that cup? I won all the races, didn't I? That's weird. Okay. Let's go shopping. How much we got? You make bank in this version. Space is a premium in my setup, and I imagine they aren't as sought after. Yeah, that's precisely it. In both instances. Right, B also controls like shit on console, so if Big controls well, I'm praying. I've got hope, okay? So we're basically on revisits now for the most part, so buy some tunes. What do I want? And Crank the Heat Up's great. Supersonic Racing, it's a must. Time to break out the guide. See, I do have the retro achievements page available. I guess I should pull that up and put it in place of the stream preview on my end. So if I can do that, let's see. I didn't really think about that, to be completely honest. Let's also do that while I'm at it. Put myself under the retro achievements tag so people can actually find this. Right, back to it. Where am I going? Retro achievements. User Green Viper 8. And find the page for All Stars Racing. So is there actually one for... Oh, it's just win your first Grand Prix Cup was now there are no limits. There was nothing for winning that specific cup. Win every Grand Prix Cup. Complete 10. Personal time on every course. Beat Staff Ghost on every course. Do a bunch of stuff on the mission mode. Play as each racer. Play on each course in any mode. Perform a 10-second drift. Perform a 6-second wheelie. Perform 3 tricks and 1 jump. High speed start in any event. I've just not done that yet because I've not played as the characters that start on 2. They start on 3. Perform a high speed boost across the finish line 3 laps in a row. So what? That's a ×3 boost. Take out 3 opponents with 1 all-star. Take out an opponent by ramming them off the course. A bunch of these are do specific things with specific characters. Get certain times in all the time trials. So there's nothing for do each thing on each difficulty, right? There's nothing that says that. Because I saw people complaining. Oh, here we go. Finish a bunch of these on medium or higher. Okay. That's a problem for later. Do a bunch of them on hard as well. Okay. That's a problem for later. Let's just do stuff on easy for now. Like I said, achievements will be a secondary to me for just enjoying the game. If I can make space under my bed, then I have room to tap some consoles. Absolutely. That's the way to go. That's what I do as well. Yeah, buy the characters. Looks like most of the in-game achievements are mirrored on retro achievements. Sorry. Yeah, that's nice. Like if it's in-game, it should be on retro achievements in my opinion. So that's perfect. But for now, let's go for easy. Focus on getting stuff unlocked, and then we'll decide what I want to do from there. Because, yeah, hard mode doesn't sound like my cup of tea for a game I just started, and I'm still struggling with the controls on, but I guess we'll see. I could be proven wrong, and perhaps I'm ready for it. Yeah, all the reference names give it away for sure. Oh, yeah, he's still a bit slip-slidey. Can't believe Ian made the achievements. Let's goddammit, Ian. Wow, so you make loads of Sonic references for a living, yet can't reference Sonic? Convenient. Fascinating. Oh, that jump's different. Okay. Like, so far this track's been pretty similar until that. That was just completely different. I get the feeling that's happening. I don't like how punished you get for missing tricks though, because you fully spin out here, whereas there's no rails here either. It's actually a risk-reward thing as opposed to just never mind. Oh no, I take it back, it is a risk-reward thing. That's kind of cool. Like, the game still handholds you a little bit if you're going to fall off in some areas, but okay, that's interesting. Oh. No. On my screen, that was like 2 pixels away. That doesn't count. That should have hit him. So many of these jumps, it just doesn't feel worth it to go for the trick. Oh, I overcooked that hugely. Oh well. Oh! Okay. You also get hard mode on this bridge too. Except the long way is really the long way here. That adds on so much, it feels like. Okay. I'm not going to say this has been the smoothest race or anything, but at the same time, the CPUs haven't been bullshit as they normally are, so... all things considered, not too bad. No, I might actually play the main version of Donkey Kong. I keep meaning to pre-order Donkey Kong. I kept meaning to pre-order Donkey Kong. I now have no money for it for like 2 weeks. So I think I'm not going to let myself get FOMO'd, and I'm just going to play Tropical Freeze, which I've had digital from a sale for like 4 years, and I'm meant to play. I think I'm just going to play that, and it's like, well, I'm still playing Donkey Kong, and if I enjoy it enough, I can go back and get Returns, which is the one I played a bit more. I got to like World 2 on the original Returns on Wii, so... I think I've only ever played like 1 level of Tropical Freeze, so save a bit of money instead of paying 50 quid for the game I already own. At present, it's like 36, but yeah, give it a go. Why not? Like, I've put this off for so long because it's just a downgraded version of a game I've already played, you know. And I was like, well, you got to get out of that mindset, so it might work for you as well. I'm gonna see if I can get an Asda releases on my shopping day. I'm a Monday shopper. I just got back from Asda shopping, so no such luck for me, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I definitely will pick that up at some point, but yeah, I might use the excuse for Tropical Freeze, or to actually get into it. I was considering starting either it or Rayman 3 tonight, but I was like, I'd set most of this up yesterday out of curiosity, because I kind of felt like streaming, and I was like, nah, it's too late. Ironically, when I said it was too late, it was earlier than when I started streaming tonight, so sometimes you just gotta stop making excuses for it and just go for it. Imagine Walmart, because it's the same company, K-Dog, but way smaller. That is Asda. Because our supermarkets are... See, you would say small, we would say no wasted space. Like, can you get there and buy an entire house worth of stuff like laptops, computers, clothes? No, but can you get your shopping? Yes. Yeah, same company. They were gonna split kind of recently, but they stayed together, so... effectively just think of it as British Walmart. For all intents and purposes, just... You can at Asda Walmart, that's the thing. See, I'm from a location where the George is separate. The George is a different building. Now, I have to explain what George is. That's the clothing range at Asda. And that's also where the games are at my local. They're all in George now for some reason. See, I always think about this, because the one time I nearly bought the DS version of this game was from the Asda that I went to today. Back when they were still in the Asdas. Whenever I think of this game, I always think of that memory of nearly getting this game from that Asda. So that's always like one of those weird associated things to me. Brits have got a good video games being sold in grocery stores. That's unheard of in the States. That's pretty unheard of here, to be completely honest with you. For reference, the second biggest supermarket, or at least I would consider them the second biggest supermarket, Tesco, actually stopped selling games 2 years ago. They relied on, of all places, GameStop Ireland, which, you know, is strange because they're a British game company they could have relied on instead of an Irish one. yes, GameStop Ireland was who sold them all their stuff, and they just kind of packed up one day and said, no, we're not supplying Tesco with any more things, so they flat out just got rid of all game sections 2 years ago in those. Whereas Asda still has them, they're just very few and far between, as it is with any place that sells video games that isn't a dedicated store, and even then, all the dedicated stores are packing up as well, so it's not a great time. I still occasionally buy stuff from, like, I've done it a couple times. It's like, well, I want to go and buy the game, but there's a McDonald's in my Asda, so I can get some stuff from Asda and McDonald's, and then go and buy Sonic Origins Plus, which I did do. This is a specific example, I didn't make this one up. So I had a nice McDonald's breakfast, went and got my copy of Origins, and then got some shopping. Like, that's still the scenario in which I do this, like Larry as well. Like, yeah, it's convenient to be able to do that all in one place, but, you know, Amazon and everything is always the excuse. It's like, yeah, but like, one of the first places I played a 3DS was there was a demo unit in a homeware-only Asda that was kind of not too far away from the Best Buy, which also had 3DS demo units before Best Buy pulled out of the UK. I remember playing Mario 3D Land in that unit. It was quite a full demo from what I recall in that Asda. It was really weird that they just had it. Like, that's unheard of now. Like, you didn't never get demo units, you never get anything remotely interesting. Sound Vision's in the main shop, but George's a separate lot in the building. Yeah, I've been to a couple like that. Peterborough's like in a completely different place, the George, from the Asda. Like, I mean, in a separate shopping centre, from what I recall. It was really weird. Oh no, was it in the same one? I don't remember. It's been a while. But, you know, there's a couple examples like that where, like, should we get the bigger building? No, we'll just get two smaller ones. It's like, okay. Used to be the other way around. That's wild. See, this is the fascinating chat you tune into this stream for. This is why you stay here instead of instead of going to those other streams, you know?
I feel like a winner today.
I really need to turn the heater on. I forgot to do it before the start of this race. Also, the frame rate is so solid. Like, that shouldn't surprise me, but I've played a lot of crappy DS games. It does surprise me, especially for one this graphically impressive from 2010. Also, okay, in some areas the floor just looks like snow, but I think that's just the lighting. Just still don't get the benefit of doing tricks in these places. Like, that, yeah, way more risk reward than the base game, but you feel punished for doing it so often more than not. Between Greg's and McDonald's, that's crazy. As the pharmacy being its own buildings, that's some small town shit right there. What? Huh? Okay. Game janked me out of that one. I also didn't really get any warning for that, as far as I know. Nope. No. Oh, they're in the same building. Ah. Oh, I get how you mean it works, right? Surely there's got to be one where they're all separate buildings, though, I believe. But, like, all in the same unit for those three is just nuts. That jump is so sketch. It's a mini shopping centre owned by Asda. Yeah, that happens every now and then. It's like, we'll let some other units in here as well, considering we kind of made this thing into a shopping centre. Like, there's a lot of Tesco's will have a Timpson's or whatever. That's pretty common. Local Tesco's has a Holland and Barrett. That's nuts. I now have to explain Holland and Barrett, potentially. Herbal Remedies, the store. There you go. And they sell some nice snacks, but they're all healthy eating snacks for the most part. Yeah, I know of a Tesco-owned shopping centre as well. That's pretty crazy. McDonald's used to be upstairs, but they moved to where Blockbusters was. God, this really is small town things. I wasn't wrong. Wake up! We're going to the Asda Blockbuster combo. Hey, last race.
Come on, let's do this.
There's a Costa too. Yeah, that's not a surprising though. Oh, I finally got that, even though I pressed the timing the same as I've done every time. Oh. Got out of my phone saying to trust the process with withdrawing money from an app. That is the most scam thing I've ever heard. What's the dice? Great stuff. Thanks for putting me on the trusty iPad. Hey, I'm trapped in here. Let me out. So here we go. It's Supersonic Racing time. Oh. Okay. I'll take that. Oh. Whoops. Oh yeah, this doesn't have the, I'm guessing this version doesn't have the fan art on it, because it only seems to have the one Sonic Jester. So they didn't have to not patch it out of this version. Because they didn't patch it out on Wii either, of course, because how'd you do that? I guess with a game revision, but to my knowledge there never was a revision of All-Stars Racing on Wii. I could be wrong. I don't think they bothered. Oh, like, oh well, it's out there now. I play PC on the low graphics for the lols, just to feel something. God, that's dodgy sometimes. But it's a 30 FPS just to make it feel worse. Worse than... Look, my All-Stars Racing has 60 FPS. Really? That was jank. What? Oh, right, it was the All-Star. Makes sense. Oh, the textures. I mean, you can put geometry on low, though, as well, can't you? On PC, I'm pretty sure. I think low geometry is Wii, and high is 360 and stuff. Oh, I could have... Okay. Oh, low still has the fan art. Yeah, because they never would have bothered to change that. Right, that's what you're talking about. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. They forgot to change it on one, but not the other. There we go. We've leveled up. True blue. Okay, good gain ground. How are we looking? Oh, we're absolutely rolling in it, and we're allowed some new characters. You already know. You already know what time it is. And I'm allowed the other songs as well. Let's see. Funky Dealer. Sure. We've had a mansion level, yeah. Hope of Doubt. Banger. Still not allowed any of these yet. Wait, wait, these were unlocked, weren't they? Oh, it's because I can't afford them that they show the lock. Right, okay. Right, that makes sense. Opa. Okay, so we're about halfway done. We got 3 more cups to go. I think I'm just going to do the cups for today and then call it. And then come back and do the missions another day. Sorry, I understand it's already getting late for the UK peeps. I'm not nocturnal, but a little bit out of whack, so it never bothers me too much. I'm weirdly excited for House of the Dead 2 remake. I don't know how anyone else is feeling about it, but House of the Dead 2 is just a good game, so I just kind of want to play it. I've never actually finished House of the Dead 2, to my knowledge. I've only finished one because of the remake. I have a habit of never finishing them because I get a bit bored of them in single play sessions for some reason, whereas I just committed to House of the Dead remake. I did want to do a show on it, and then just kind of never did. Maybe I finish Panzer Dragoon remake and finally do that at some point on this series. His drift charge up is so long. But yeah, maybe I finally do that this series on the show. In time for the second remake, when we get a date for that, maybe I'll do that. And like double bill them or whatever. Because yeah, Panzer Dragoon remake I desperately meant to get to. Because I've never played a Panzer Dragoon game. Fun fact. So that's one I desperately need to fix. And I was like, it's bad to lump them together. I know one remake for Panzer Dragoon 1 remake that is really funky on PC. Like I remember I was gonna stream it at some point, but then cancelled it because the setup was awful. So I played Monkey Ball instead. But yeah, I remember the setup for that being jank. Also, I'm not even sure I'm going to last this race, because his drift is so bad. Like, I'm needing to catch up, but I'm not doing a very good job of it, because he just comes unstuck on so many objects. Or I just let go too early, because his drift wind-up's just that long. And I expect it to be done, and it's not done. See, I'm mostly not looking at the flames, so I can keep an eye on the tracks. I'm just doing it by feel, and the feel makes me think it must be done by now, right? And it never is. Because that's the nice thing about vibration, or the fact you actually get a noise on... You get a noise on console if you have vibration turned on or off, I think, that lets you know the boost is ready, whereas you don't get that here. Also, the fact this works, I'm really surprised with. I imagine it's a really easy trick within the engine to do the upside down thing, but the fact that works on DS is still a nice surprise to me. I guess I just got used to keeping an eye on the flame. See, I was like this with Crash Team Racing, and I got way better with it. It's just muscle memory of learning to do that. Because now I'm doing that, and I'm starting to get a bit better at it, but obviously, you know, you've got to remember to look down at it while still keeping your eyes on the road, I guess. Or you just get a feel for it, which is honestly just what I did in the console game. You just get a feel for how long every character's charge up lasts when you play the game for like 200 hours or whatever. Which isn't a lot of time to play a game, but that's still like one of my most played games of all time. Oh god, it's the audio equivalent of a flashbang every time a character gets an all-star, because it's so much louder than anything else. That's needlessly loud. Is there a reason for it? So, yeah, same complaints about trying to hold drifts on a straight that I've had this entire time, I guess. I'm taking so long in these menus, I've just got to speed up. I've got to get on with it. Anyway, please ignore the 5 seconds of silence here. There we go. Me turning the heater off. This stage is a nightmare for coming off the track on console, so we'll see how this goes. Yes, this is still... Heroes was the last mainline Sonic that we remember to care about. Like, Unleashed has no iconic location, so we're not going to use that for the crossovers. 06 is 06, so we're not going to use that. Shadow is not a mainline game, and isn't cheery enough, so not going to use that. So you just defaulted to Heroes for so long. until Green Hill kind of was allowed to become a thing again because of Generations, and they're like, oh, people really like Green Hill, we'll just keep using Green Hill instead of Seaside Hill then. But yes, we are in the sort of 5-year period where Seaside Hill was just the default. I guess Colors kind of did. This was the year of Colors, so obviously you can't really do that, even if they had seen Colors by this point. Oh, I can hold drift like this. Oh, that's actually really good to know. Also, yeah, this is my nightmare here, right here. Is getting hit in an area like this. Oh, dude, flat out can't do the shortcut. Good. The shortcut sucks. I hate having to do it on console. Yeah, honestly, I kind of miss Seaside Hill. It's a much more visually interesting stage than Green Hill. If you have to use a Sonic stage in a crossover or whatever, like, Seaside Hill is just so much nicer to look at. Like, it's got everything Green Hill's got, plus loads of interesting geometry and patterns and stuff like that, you know. I honestly am with you there. I kind of miss it as well. Oh, it's not a bad place to have that happen, I suppose, although it is hugely disorientating. And best gen stage, I mean, I've said this before, it feels like a reach, but I think you're right, honestly. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. We're doing the whole achievements thing here. That's another thing that the PC version sucks at. There's no in-client achievements. Obviously, it was mostly made for PC Disc, and Steam came second, but yeah, the only achievements are in-game, which by 2010 was just not a thing for PC games. It was really annoying that there was no Steam achievements. I was just starting to jam to the music, and then we had to bring in the super loud samba music. Speaking of which, I still need to test those maracas that I posted about on Blue Sky the other day. I've not looked at them yet. I can look behind me to counter stuff like that, but I just never bother to remember. Oh my god, again? Seaside Hill Act 2 feels like the template Shadow Generations builds off of. Honestly, I hadn't thought about that. I don't know. Does it? Because, like, it doesn't really do the stage gimmicks that much. Saying that, yeah, it does. The Doom powers kind of are the equivalent of the multi-stage gimmick, aren't they, I guess? Yeah, no, you might be right with that one. Fuck off! Like, what was that? Okay, I've got to wait for a point where it's not going to go careening off the track to actually send this at him. Oh, piss off. Please. I don't need the win, I just want the win. You know? I'm begging politely here. Missiles are so slow. Man. This game has physics. They are there. Okay, I am barely still in the lead. Those chuckle fellas are getting ahead. Okay. Here we go. Here's Ultra Heaven. Oh, this looks like the, okay, that's not how you do that, but this looks like the Sandy Drifts I know and love. This track blows. This track's great on console. I hope it's roughly similar to that. It looks pretty similar. Just I imagine the handling engine there works a bit better for it, honestly, than it does here. Maybe I was just a dumb kid. That was me with all the Monkey Ball tracks in the console, so I grew to really like them. But I was a dumb kid who got lost. Yeah, that tracks. That was also me. Oh. I love physics. Okay, so this is where you do the three the 3 tricks in one jump thing, I'm guessing. So that's like the only place it feels like you remotely get anywhere near enough air to do that. Yeah, I always used to hate these tracks, but can I get out of the middle of the pack? Like, my goodness. Right, can I do the comedy? I can't, because the handling is so different. Being able to do that corner cut there to go over that gap with like the bikes or whatever in the original is so satisfying. Oh, you get off. Someone take away these missiles, like goodness gracious. Alright. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I'm gonna keep re-rolling till I get the 3 again. It's also not what I wanted. It doesn't feel like it matters, because half the time it just doesn't block anyway, but I keep going for it if I want to. It's my game. And if I don't want the shield, I don't want the shield. Yeah. Cut denied. Corner cut denied. Didn't need to copy Mario Kart DS that much. True. This game is the definition of... See, everyone at the time was like, oh my god, like, you can't ever make another kart racer. Like, Mario Kart made kart racers or whatever, you know, ignoring Power Drift came first, let's ignore that fact conveniently. It's like, oh, this game's just a horrible rip-off of Mario Kart. It's like, they don't share that much, do they? Like, Transform's the one where you can get away with that a bit more. It was coincidence, according to both teams, that they were both making a game about planes, cars, and boats racing, but that's the one where like that accusation held a bit more true. Like, this game barely has any resemblance, and yet that was all anyone ever spoke about. Like, God forbid you make a different kart racer. Because Mario and Sonic are bitter rivals, they're just trying to copy Mario. Like, no, like, kart racers are a free concept. There we go. Triple Trouble reference. I'm gonna try so hard to get this at some point, and you'll watch me get that corner cut. They're both Diddy Kong Racing ripoffs. Real. Speaking of DS kart races, I actually had Diddy Kong Racing DS, and here I was saying that no game other than Mario Kart was a kart race that was allowed on my DS. I had Diddy Kong Racing DS. I didn't understand it. It really confused me as a 4-year-old. See, I want to play Diddy Kong Racing at some point, like the N64 one, but I just know that it's infamous for just how awful the AI is. And even then, there's like that nostalgia bone being tickled a little bit that's like, yeah, but try the DS version. Like, no one ever talks about it, so surely there's something worth talking about it, even if it's downgraded or whatever. Like, no, these things will go around my head. Okay. Rubber banding is indeed infamous. Oh, yeah, it's nuts. Oh, it's way worse than Mario Kart 64s, I'd say. Like, you actually have a chance of winning in Mario Kart 64 for the most part. Not as much in DKR. Oh, wow, this is... Oh, wait, no, we already had this track, didn't we? Also, isn't this just kind of the first track again? Like, where's the custom skybox? Where's the nighttime sky... Or the... What's it called? Oh, it was the touchscreen elements that everyone hates. Yes, because you have to, like, blow on the mic and stuff, don't you? I remember this. Don't, for the boat, you have to control it with the touchscreen as well? Am I making that up? I must be thinking of another game. There's no way they'd be that dumb, right? Yeah, I keep meaning to play it. At some point when I finally get my summer cart for the N64 and I can a bit more easily play English games on it, then I'll check it out, I guess, and see if I can get very far. I won't, but I can try. Oop. I'm guessing Rainbow. I'm confident that Rainbow can't block, so it's a burn it as soon as you get it kind of item. Oop. Okay. Whoa, this is a lot of air. Where did this come from? WarioWare DIY throwbacks with the touchscreen mechanics. Never played WarioWare DIY. I've only played the most recent two and the first one. I really need to get back to it because I own Gold. I own the Wii one as well, which I wanted to get to straight after finishing Move It, but I just never did. So yeah, I should get to WarioWare as a series one day because yeah, the DS ones in particular I've been wanting to do for a while, just because they seem fun, gimmicky. And even more useless blooper. Oh, it really is. Like, the blooper's useless around this time period anyway, but, like, my strategy was just always look through purple. You can always see, basically, a full image through purple. If I forgot to go, thank you so much for the stream. No worries, K-Dog. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, / afternoon. Thanks for being here, and, yeah, catch you later. Have a good one. Smooth Moves is elite. Smooth Moves, I've heard, is great. Like, there's features I prefer. I'd love that there's full co-op in Move It, but I've also heard Smooth Moves is... I mean, in Japan, it's literally called Smooth Moves 2, isn't it? Or, you know, whatever the subtitle is over there for whatever Made in Wario game it is. I think the title is effectively just Blank 2. I think there's a clever pun or something, but... as far as I know, that's the format it follows. But there you go, it is a sequel. For all intents and purposes. Who do I want to play as now? I've not played as any bike characters yet, so... Chat. Alex Kidd. Or Shenmue. They ended up playing more of the latest one on Switch. I kind of did everything I wanted to do in it. I played every mini-game, I got the unique Pyoro game, I unlocked all the modes, so I kind of was done with it. Like, there was a couple more things I could do. I think there was like a couple ranked modes or something I could do, but I didn't end up doing them. But I really liked it, so I'll probably replay it at some point. Big as a bike character. Point still stands. Alex Kidd or Shenmue. Choose wisely, because I will judge. Let's go on to a neutral party in the meantime. Am I on about Get It Together? No, I'm on about Move It, or whatever it's called. There's some sort of mode I didn't do in it, but yeah, I did all the mini games. I unlocked Pyoro's custom mode. And that's about it. I've not messed much with Get It Together. I finished it, and that was about it. I didn't do too much else aside from that. So yeah, the big emotes is one of the reasons why I liked this, by the way. So you can actually see emotes properly. Right, and with that, we go to... Who do I want to play as most? Alex Kidd, I guess. Sorry, Shenmue fans. Crying yet again. How could you pick Alex Kidd over Rio? So you go Noom. Right. So is there any tracks I don't have anything from? I love Jack in the Box, so we'll go with that. Eggman, absolutely. Okay. Back to it. 2 more Grand Prix to go. Just gonna double check something quickly. Okay, should be good. Let's keep going. Did that Chuchi Rocket game ever get ported from mobile by fans? No, there are ways to play it though. There is a cracked version of it around that gets rid of the calls to Apple Arcade, as far as I know, which normally, of course, I would completely disown. However, they delisted it, so I couldn't give a shit. Simply don't delist it, and I would give you money to play it on Apple Arcade, because I have the device, I have an active subscription. I want a way to play it, because as of right now, I don't have an Apple TV that's capable of sideloading stuff, so I've never played it since its initial release. Well, it's not really lost media. Like, it's pretty easy to play as long as you have a jailbroken iOS device. I just don't have one, as with most people. Was it rights issue? We really don't know, which is odd because Sonic Racing came out on the same day, and Sonic Racing is obviously, as we've just talked about, still getting updates for some reason. I don't know why. I'm as confused as you are that game still gets updates. How did that game, which came out, from what I recall, the same week as Mario Kart Tour, how has that outlived Mario Kart Tour? Like, unreal. The answer is Apple money, because Mario Kart Tour relied on in-app purchases no one bought, whereas Apple is paying for the development of Sonic Racing. That's your answer, but it still feels weird. Also, this is completely different, it goes without saying. I have no memory of this one being in the other version though, so this is pretty new to me. Yeah, it's odd, because there was also the theory that it was going to be ported to Switch for a while. There was nothing supporting that. People thought it was. There's less evidence for that than there is for Switch 2 right now, being revealed on Thursday, and yet more people believe that Choo Choo Rocket was coming to Switch for some reason. But, I don't know, like... I wish there was a way to play that more actively, obviously, because it sucks that it got left in the limbo that it is, but there's not much you can do unless you also have a jailbroken iOS device, which I don't. Soundtracks are probably the hardest to downgrade. I can imagine. Am I mad, or is this Fantasy Zone 2? I don't even think this is Fantasy Zone 1. Huh. Anyway, back to it. Oop. Come on, hit him. This is revenge for me not buying him in the item shop, isn't it? So, is one path here just significantly quicker than the other? Is that what was going on as to how he overtook me so easily? I'm gonna say that's yes. Yes, this path's significantly quicker, isn't it? See, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, if you've still got a big release coming out, and you kind of don't wanna say too much about it until the release is practically underway. But Switch 1's backwards compatible, so it also doesn't make that much sense. It's like, oh my god, I'm not going to go out and buy Donkey Kong Country Returns HD because the Switch 2 is coming out immediately. Like, you can play it on your Switch 2 if you're that concerned. Like, I've kind of been holding off on playing a couple Switch games. Like, I really want to play Mario Odyssey. Like, maybe I'll stream it at this point on Switch 2, and couple other things, like Bomber Cyberpunk I've been playing a lot on PC recently, but that has an FPS unlock mode, so that would be perfect on Switch 2, where I'll actually hold the FPS presumably, and like a couple other games like that, like Pokemon Let's Go and some of the Pokemon stuff where the FPS sucks, but is unlocked, so in theory, another console would come along and fix it, so that's the perfect example of stuff that I've been holding off to play on Switch 2, so... Funniest thing, yeah. Also the fact the game leaked. Can't leak a 15-year-old game. Did it actually leak? I mean, actually saying that, it comes out like 2 days from now, doesn't it? I guess that's not all that surprising, but... I'm still somewhat surprised by that, because normally people will post about it, like, loads and loads on Twitter, but I didn't hear about it on Twitter or wherever they post it. Modded games is worth keeping the Switch when the Switch 2 comes out. That's it. Like, how much do you care about it as to whether it's worth keeping? Otherwise, it's a couple £100 towards it too, if you're interested, or whatever else. I guess. I mean, personally, as with everyone else, I'm pretty hyped. Like, I can't see it becoming my main hardware, but I still, even despite having a Steam Deck and stuff, if I'm going out, I will still reach for a Switch way before I'll reach for a Steam Deck personally, so it's that convenience factor, I guess, but I love the Steam Deck and I use it all the time at home, but it's got that out and about convenience factor to me that other devices just don't have, so just having a more powerful version of it is great, so yeah, homebrew and emulation is outclassed, exactly, like there's not much, unless it like uses Switch hardware exclusively, there's not much you want to keep it about for. Another track that's completely different, and honestly, like, most of them are, oh, it's clearly downgraded or whatever, but it's still a fine track. Like, I'm not enjoying this track. The slopes here do not do it any favours. Oh, he actually used the 3 items there, aren't he? Yeah, the slopes are not selling me on this track at all. Only mod I can think of is CTGP Deluxe. That and HDR are like the two I always recommend people. But yeah, CTGP Deluxe is great. I don't know if it's necessarily worth keeping a Switch about for, considering you can emulate it pretty easily, even on Steam Deck, but CTGP Deluxe is great. I actually have not checked out the most recent update that came out a little while ago. I don't think there was like any major updates, it was just updating bugs and updating tracks to their most recent versions and stuff, because some of them were a little janky around the edges, so I think they were like the first priority, but yeah, CGP Deluxe is great. If nothing else, just get the soundtrack on Bandcamp, which I'm sure Larry does, but anyone else who doesn't, it's free. Give it a listen, it's awesome. Come on, drift around the corner, Alex. I always screw that up. More Mario Kart 8 is always good. In fact, that's just another 48 tracks for free. Like, I'll take that. One game I've been wanting to play more of as of recent is Mighty Switch Force, as you should, because Mighty Switch Force is awesome. Once again, kind of preaching to the choir here. Oh, speaking of which, this reminds me, King. I don't know why. Have you seen the most recent blog post for Castle Crashers? That's great. Like, the DLC coming to that looks awesome. So at that point, we keep threatening to play it and just start it again from the beginning. We should just wait for the DLC. Give it a look. Like, it's nothing that wasn't already revealed on like their end-of-year live stream or whatever before Christmas, but it's still worth a look. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff on the blog post if you've not seen that either. I can't remember specifics. Basically, new characters, the workshop stuff they'd already discussed. The main menu got a huge like visual overhaul, but you can still switch back to the old one. I don't remember too many specifics because I never finished it, and it's been years since I played it. But yeah, it looked really, really like definitive. It was great. I will definitely be giving that a purchase, and yeah, we'll have to play through the campaign on PC to mess with all the mods and stuff at some point. The fact the game itself is getting a DLC pack nearly 20 years later is wild. It actually nearly is 20 years later, that's the insane thing. It's like 18 this year, isn't it? Is it 18 or is it 17? 2008. 17, right? No? Is that how years work? Yeah, that's how years work. 2008, yeah. And yeah, port of a 360 game, exactly. Where's the updates of the 360 version, guys? Come on. Chop chop. I don't care that the 360 doesn't have a store anymore. I bought it nearly 20 years ago. I demand my free update. And yeah, it's still backwards compatible. Like, no excuses. Come on, chop chop. You know, ignore the fact there's a native Xbox One version of the game now that's remastered and everything. I want my update for my old bangy, you know? In the same place as Mighty Number 9 for the 3DS and Vita. Look, they only just cancelled pre-orders for that recently. The dream was still alive last year. Like, I believed it. I was a true believer in KJ Inafune. Famously not ever a con man, you know? Battle Block was an Xbox exclusive for a year. Really? It wasn't even on Steam for a year? I actually didn't know that, but Xbox Live Arcade was like a huge moneymaker, or like one of the only relevant places for indies, so I guess it makes sense. You know, compare that to like PS3 in the day, where you got charged bandwidth for free demos. So therefore, no one ever made demos and other like really ultra anti-indie things. Like, it makes sense that it's really the only place to sell them, minus Steam, but I assume Xbox put down quite a chunk of change for that. Oh, that was why the Steam trailer was created, that's true. Legendary piece of media, of course. Mighty Number 9 gave us the Mighty Gunvolt games. I hear they're really good, but I haven't got around to Gunvolt full stop, so... Can you hit Sonic? Can you go backwards for a start? Inti creates his peak. Kind of inclined to agree. Mega Man 9 and 10 are both pretty good. I can't finish 10. I'll finish 9, but 10's great. Xbox Arcade was pushed a lot by Microsoft back in the day. Fallen Kingdom, if you will. Sorry, it's a Fallen Kingdom, if you will. Like, that tier of digital games just doesn't exist anymore. The £10 port, or the... You know, the £10 small little title, it doesn't exist. It's, you know, 15, 20 quid for an indie game, which is perfectly fair in those instances, but like, the cheap port of a Dreamcast game, that just doesn't exist. That's a £50 collection now. Like, it's all about Total Miner. I love Total Miner. Admittedly, I got way more into Minecraft eventually than I did into Total Miner, but Total Miner was great too. I hit that in time. the Minecraft and Xbox before that came out. Yep, that was exactly why we all had it. I didn't know anything about Minecraft, I just knew everyone had it, and they were like, yeah, it's because there's no Minecraft. And I was like, I don't know what Minecraft is. But you do that. See, I never had Fortress Craft, I definitely had Total Miner. And Total Miner is still a thing, and I'm pretty sure still updated, which is really funny. I think Callum gifted it to me on Steam at some point. So I'm pretty sure if you look in my Steam library, it should be there. Oh. This track's pretty unchanged, that's cool. Because I always thought this was a very technically impressive track. Oh, was it Castle Miner Z that he was doing? I know I had Total Miner. Maybe it's Castle Miner Z I have on Steam. Okay, now it's changed. That's radically different. Oh, but this is the same. Okay. They just elongated the last part of the track a bit. I should have done that a bit earlier than I did, but whatever. Man, I just want drifts, okay? Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it here, game. Bloodstone AK-47. Oh, that was the one with guns. Yes. Duplication glitch? Oh my god. That's not a phrase I've heard for many a year. Back in my day. Back in the duplication glitch days. Will you just stay in a drift, please? That's all I ask. Fighting dragons and all sorts. I remember so little of this game, clearly. That was another triple trouble, but I already got the achievement, so doesn't matter. Is this 3DS port? Welcome back, Afro. Are you having a good one? This is the DS port. 3DS, Transformed had a 3DS version, but this is DS. 2010, so a little early for the 3DS, but hence the blockiness. But yeah, welcome. Hope you're having a good one. Oh no! So many instances of stuff should have been blocked. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't, and all that. Okay, I'm just gonna go in a straight line, because all these failed drifts must be driving people insane. I've got enough leeway. I'm good. And then I get, of course, flashbanged. The audio flashbang from the song there. An impossible port, if you will. Mistakes were made on that one. See, sometimes I can cancel the drift and send it back the other way, and then other times that just doesn't work. I don't know why. This song's also so good. I mean, Wind in Ripley is already a banger. Doing semi-okay apart from low-grade random pains. That sucks to hear. Hopefully that clears up soon if it can. Fingers crossed on that one anyway. No idea about this. Was there any information why they chose Zobio for this game? A set of characters from spin-offs that weren't even released in the West? Technically... Here you go. Didn't... I think House of the Dead EX was kind of released in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Germany. Germany, there you go, Larry. That's exactly the reason. As far as I know, wait, I had an identical lap 2 and 3? That's nuts. Yeah, as far as I know, because of the Curian Mansion stuff, I'm guessing that was why. But, yeah, House of the Dead EX was released here as far as I know. I'm gonna actually look this up real quick, but I'm pretty sure it got a not very wide European release. Yeah. Sarayori Aishite, House of the Dead EX. Also known in Europe as Loving Dead's The House of the Dead EX. It was released on the Lindbergh, same board as House of the Dead 4. Slated for release in December 2008, delayed to 2009. The English language version is available on the BIOS and can be selected in addition to the original Japanese language. But supposedly then says was never released outside of Japan. So I'm not really sure what the correlation there is. Like, which one is it? It has a European title but wasn't released in Europe, but has a translation or whatever. Like, I'm a little confused. Yeah, the character icons are a little scuffed. See, since it runs on Lindbergh and, like, presumably uses the same guns and stuff, I really just want to see all these places that have House of the Dead 4. Like, we know Hot of Gaming has a House of the Dead 4, and, like, a couple of other niche arcade places like that. Like, Lindbergh is literally, as far as I remember, isn't it Linux-based? Like, just flash the hard drive with Loving Dead and put the English version on. Like, I want to play this game. It'd be so easy, from what I can guess. Also, new license. Yeah, never meant to be seen this big, exactly. We're really blowing them up to a size they were never meant to see. Batacera, is that how you say that? Has Lindbergh 3 support. Interesting. Is 3 one... I'm trying to think if... what's it called? NQ64 and Soho. That has